Today we're solving inequalities using multiplication and division. Well, we have to solve x divided by 2 is less than -1. What's the inverse operation? Times 2. What you do to one side, you do to the other. So x is less than -2. Can we graph this? Open or close circle. So if x is less than -2, it would be pointing to the left. So if we have to solve b divided by 4 is greater than 1/2. What's the inverse operation? Multiply times 4. What you do to one side, you do to the other. So we can put a 4 over 1, right, to make it a fraction. Can we cross cancel? Cancel. The 2 goes into 2 once and 2 goes into 4 twice. We're left with b is greater than 2 over 1, or b is greater than 2. Can we graph this? Open or close circle. So b is greater than 2. That means we are pointing our arrow to the right. If we have negative 2/3 n is less than or equal to 2. What is the inverse operation? Multiply times the reciprocal, and the reciprocal would be -3 over 2. Cancel the 3, cancel the 2. What you do to one side? -3 over 2. So we can make the 2 into a fraction. Can we cross cancel? We can cross cancel the 2. That means n is going to be anytime we multiply or divide by a negative number, like we did right here, we have to reverse the sign. So what do I mean by reverse the sign? Flip it. So instead of less than or equal, it's now greater than or equal. So when do we reverse the sign? Anytime you multiply or divide by a negative. Do you see this? If we have to solve negative k over 4 is greater than -1, what is the inverse operation? Times what? Times -4. What you do to one side, you do to the other. This means k, what happens to the sign because this is a negative? Because this is a negative, we have to flip this sign. That means k is less than 4. We have to solve negative t is less than 1/2. What do we have to do here? Divide by -1. We need to get rid of that negative. What you do to one side, so 1/2 divided by -1. What happens when you're dividing by a negative? You have to flip the sign or reverse the sign. So that means t is greater than or equal to 1/2 divided by -1. And what does this mean? 1/2 times -1 over 1, because the reciprocal of 1 is what? 1 over 1. So that means t is greater than -1/2. 6 is less than or equal to -3/5 w. What is the inverse operation? The reciprocal, so times -5 over 3. These cancel. What you do to one side, you do to the other. So solving this, we have to put the 6 over 1. Can we cross cancel? So -10 is what? Greater than or equal to w. Why did I flip the sign? Because we're multiplying by a negative right here. I have to flip the sign. Negative 5 times 2 equals negative 10. Do you see that? So what's the inverse operation here? Divide by negative 5. What you do to one side, you do to the other. That means b is less than or equal to negative 5. Why did I flip the sign? Anytime you divide by a negative, right? Multiply or divide by a negative.